Part 1. The Land of Oven Heat. It was autumn, but the pilgrims felt like they were walking into a volcano. The ground was cracked, the rocks were scorching hot. There were no trees, no grass, and no water. Tong Sanzong wiped sweat from his face.
Wukong, it is unbearable. Is it summer? No, Wukong said, touching a rock and pulling his hand back. It feels like we are walking on a barbecue grill. Look ahead. A range of mountains blocked their path. They weren't just red, they were literally on fire. Flames leaped from the peaks, licking the sky. There was no smoke, just pure, smokeless, intense heat that stretched for 800 miles. They found a small house nearby where an old man was selling rice cakes. "Old man," Pigsy panted, his tongue hanging out. "How do we cross these mountains?" "You can't," the old man said. "These are the flaming mountains. Not even a bird can fly over them. If you get close, you will turn into roast pork. Where did this fire come from?"
Wukong asked. The old man looked at Wukong. Legend says that 500 years ago, a monkey king kicked over the 8 trigrams furnace in Hedon. A brick from that furnace fell from the sky, landed here, and started this fire.
"It has been burning ever since." Wukong blushed under his fur. "Oops," Wukong whispered to Pigsy. "That was me." "Great," Pigsy crumbled. "You started the fire, now you put it out." "There is a way," the old man continued. "There is an immortal named the Princess of Iron Fan. She has a magical plantain fan, banana leaf fan. If she waves it once, the fire goes out. If she waves it twice, wind blows. If she waves it 3 times, rain falls." "Where does she live?" Wukong asked. "Palm Leaf Cave, about 1,000 miles to the southwest." "Easy." Wukong summoned his cloud. "I'll go borrow it."
Part 2. The Angry Mother. Wukong arrived at the Palm Leaf Cave. It was a beautiful, cool place, very different from the fire pits. He knocked on the door. "Is the princess home?" A maid answered. "Who are you?" "I am Sun Wukong, the great sage."
"I am on a pilgrimage to the west. I need to borrow her fan to put out a fire." The maid ran inside. A moment later, a furious woman stormed out. She wore armor and wielded 2 swords. This was Princess Ironfan, Rakshasi.
"You!" She pointed her sword at Wukong. "You dare show your face here?" "Princess," Wukong bowed politely. "I know we haven't met, but—" "You kidnapped my son!" she screamed. "My son is the Red Boy. You called the Bodhisattva to capture him and make him a servant." "I have been waiting to kill you." Wait, Wukong waved his hands. "He isn't a servant. He is the boy of good wealth. He is an immortal bureaucrat now. It's a promotion. You should thank me." "I'll thank you with my sword." She slashed at him. Wukong dodged. "Sister-in-law, please, I just need the fan. Don't call me sister-in-law." She pulled out a small fan, about the size of a leaf. She recited a spell, and it grew to be 12 feet long. She swung it at Wukong. Whoosh! It wasn't a normal wind. It was a cosmic gale. Wukong dug his iron staff into the ground to hold on, but it was useless. He was lifted off his feet. He tumbled through the air like a dry leaf. He spun round and round, helpless against the magic. He flew for 50,000 miles before he finally grabbed onto a rock. Part 3. The Wind-Fixing Pill. Wukong landed on a mountain, dizzy and confused. "That is some fan," Wukong shook his head.
How do I fight wind? Luckily, he had landed on Little Sumeru Mountain, the home of the Bodhisattva Lingji. Lingji laughed when he saw the disheveled monkey. Did the princess blow you here? Yes, Wukong admitted. She is Red Boy's mother. She holds a grudge. How do I stop the wind? I can help, Lingji said. He reached into his sleeve and pulled out a small pearl sewn into a sachet. This is the wind fixing pill. If you wear this, no wind in the universe can move you.
Wukong thanked him, tied the pill to his collar, and somersaulted back to the palm leaf cave. Part 4. The Stomachache. Wukong banged on the door again. "Princess, I'm back!" Princess Ironfan came out, annoyed. "You again."
Do you want another ride? She raised the giant fan and swung it with all her might. Whoosh! The trees bent, the rocks flew away. But Wukong stood perfectly still. He picked his ear with his pinky finger, looking bored.
"How?" the princess gasped. She waved it again, and again. Wukong didn't budge an inch. "My turn," Wukong grinned. He raised his staff. The princess knew she couldn't beat him in a physical fight. She turned and ran back into her cave, slamming the stone doors shut. "I won't come out," she shouted. "Go away!" Wukong banged on the door. "If you don't open up, I'm coming in." No answer. Wukong saw a tiny crack in the doorframe. Time for a classic trick. He plucked a hair. Change!
He turned into a tiny gall midge, a small fly. He squeezed through the crack. He found the princess sitting in her room, panting. She was thirsty from the fight. She called for tea. As the maid poured the tea, Wukong flew into the cup. He hid under a tea leaf. The princess grabbed the cup and drank it in one gulp. Glug! Wukong slid down her throat and into her stomach. Part 5. The Tantrum Inside. Inside the stomach, Wukong turned back into his monkey form, but small. "Hello," Wukong shouted. His voice echoed inside her body. The princess jumped. "Who said that?" "I'm downstairs," Wukong laughed. "In your belly. Thanks for the tea. It's a bit dark in here, though. Maybe I should kick a hole to let some light in?" He kicked her stomach wall. "Ow!" The princess fell to the floor, clutching her belly. "It hurts!" "It hurts! How about I do a somersault?" Wukong flipped. The princess rolled on the ground, screaming in agony. "Please stop!" she cried. "Great Sage, don't kill me!" "Lend me the fan," Wukong demanded. "I'll lend it." "I'll lend it. Just get out." "Open your mouth," Wukong ordered. The princess opened her mouth wide. Wukong flew out as a bug, then transformed back to his normal self. The princess, pale and sweating, pulled the fan from her sleeve and gave it to him. "Take it and never come back." Wukong grabbed the fan. "Thank you, sister-in-law." He flew away happily, thinking the problem was solved. Part 6. Feeding the Fire. Wukong returned to the flaming mountains. "Master! Pigsy! I got it!" Sanzong was hiding behind a rock to escape the heat. "Wonderful! Put out the fire quickly!" Wukong stood at the base of the fire. The heat was scorching his fur. "One wave to put it out," Wukong recited the instructions. He waved the fan with all his strength. Whoosh! But the fire didn't go out. Instead, a massive tongue of flame shot out from the mountain. It grew 10 times larger. "What?" Wukong waved it again. Whoosh! The fire roared even louder. It was now a towering inferno, raining lava down on them. "Run!" Wukong screamed. "Run!" He grabbed Sanzang, Pigsy grabbed the horse, and they ran for their lives. The fire chased them for miles. Wukong's butt hair got singed, which is why monkeys have red bottoms today, according to the joke. They finally stopped, coughing and covered in soot. "You lied," Pigsy yelled. "You said that fan puts out fires." "It just made it worse." "She tricked me," Wukong growled, looking at the useless fan. "It's a fake. It makes wind, but it doesn't have the magical rain property. It just fed the fire oxygen." Part 7. The Bull Demon King. Suddenly, the local earth spirit popped up from the ground. Great sage, the spirit said. The princess tricked you, but you cannot blame her. She hates you. I need the real fan, Wukong said. Where is it? She probably doesn't have it, the spirit explained. The real magic of the fan requires a spell code, and the true master of the household is not the princess. It is her husband. The Bull Demon King, Wukong said. Yes, the spirit nodded. He left his wife 2 years ago. He lives with a mistress, the Princess Jadeface, a fox spirit, in the Thunder Mountain. He is powerful. He has the same 72 transformations as you, and he is the only one who can make his wife give up the real fan.
Wukong sighed. First, I beat up his son. Then I tortured his wife. Now I have to go beg his forgiveness? He is your sworn brother, Pigsy noted. Maybe he will listen? 500 years ago, we were brothers, Wukong said, looking at the angry red sky.
Now, I think we are enemies, Wukong tightened his belt. Pigsy, you stay here and guard the master. Keep him cool with water magic. I'm going to find the bull. Be careful, monkey, Pigsy warned. I've heard the Bull Demon King is the strongest demon in the West.
He isn't like the others. Wukong summoned his cloud. I started this fire 500 years ago, Wukong whispered to himself. It's time to finish it.